Welcome everybody to both sides of the conversation. I'm John Henry, Executive Director. Today is Tuesday. So you know what that means. We're going to have another Hidden Gem segment tonight. We have a couple phenomenal gems here tonight in community. See, we do listen to the community. I be talking about our CP time. We've been getting in early. We listening to our community. They like, get through y'all announcements so at 7 o'clock we can have a start. So we getting started early so we can get through our community announcement, give the information to the people, and then get to our show. Again, every Tuesday, community, if it's your first time logging on, this is our Hidden Gem segment where every Tuesday at 7 p.m. we uplift our community businesses by highlighting them, getting them out here to the community so y'all know how to go and support them with your black and brown dollars, as well as our community leaders and organizations that are doing positive things to impact community. Y'all know this is my favorite show of the week because during the week it be so many things going on. Y'all go hear some of the news today. Just terrible things happening in our community, and it's always great to have a Tuesday, just positivity, some black and brown folks doing some amazing things to impact community. So this is our favorite show of the week because it's about positivity. It's about uplifting and supporting each other because we know during the week it can get treacherous out there. So, we just excited about that. A lot of things going on in the community. And we're just excited to be a part of it and continue to push through as community. A number of things is going to be happening. We're making changes. We're upgrading. We listen to the community. I know a lot of community folks have been reaching out to me. Okay. I just want to be clear to the community. Okay. Our website is up and running, but there's some reconstruction going on. Okay. We got some folks behind the scene. So I know the look of our layout is changing. Things is happening. But that's because we listen to the community and we want to make sure that your experience, when you connect with both sides of the conversation, is easy. You can navigate. So be patient, community, okay? We are trying to update and keep everything on our website current and easy for folks to navigate. So we're doing that right now. And I know the folks been asking, John, I need my hoodie. I need my hat. I've been on the online store. Yes, we had the online store open. We had to shut it down and make some changes, but everything is going to be back up soon. Just hang in there, community. Be patient. As you know, to do these transitions and changes, it takes a lot. And we want to make sure that one of the products that we give to our community is the quality of the stuff that we wear as a team. And we want to make sure that y'all get that same both sides of the conversation experience. So with that being said, be patient. Pray for us. There's a lot of things going on. Okay. We need prayer too. Everybody get out there and uplift some people today. It's been a lot of things happening. Emotions are high in the community. And we just got to keep pushing through this. But with that being said, Miss Khalees, the team is here. Khalees, holla at the people, Queen.
Yes, yes, John. Just like you just shared with the community, we need prayer too. I mean, we always bless the people, but we also need blessings. We're not just talking about monetary blessings, we're talking about them prayers. But welcome, thank you. It is another Tuesday evening, and we appreciate you spending time with us during this Hidden Gem segment. I'm excited to know what our hidden gems are bringing. We had an outstanding weekend, great weekend with Mission Prep. We were out there doing our thing. And when I tell you, just to see the faces of the community, how appreciative they were of us bringing our presence and blessing the community, it's really refreshing to the soul. And that's what this is about, right? Volunteering, giving back, and blessing the people. So I feel very honored to be at both sides of the conversation. And we look forward to spending the other evenings with you during these stream podcasts.
Man, definitely to all of the folks over at Mission Prep, we want to give all of you a huge shout out for continuing to support our community. Listen, both sides of the conversation, y'all know we support the black and brown community. So shout out to all of our Latin brothers and sisters, kings and queens that came out. And again, you right, colleagues, great impact. When we show up, we always try to make sure we impact our community with resources, information. I want to give a huge shout out to the Dreamkeeper Initiative and all of our sponsors that continue to support the work that we do. Again, none of this happened without communities working in solidarity, coming together. So thank you to Collective Impact, Mo Magic, B Magic, YCD, Homeless Children Network, a number of folks who continue to support us. Shout out to the Baby Y, ATN, major folks, Westside Community Services, a lot of folks, understand what's going on, the need right now. Community, this is the time we step up in solidarity as a community, as money are becoming tighter and tighter, as the interest rates continue to go up, as the job market continues to dramatically change. Folks are stressed, people are going through it right now, and we just got to make sure that we are supporting community and uplifting our community. And again, to the community organizations, to our elected officials, to our city departments that have opportunities to make impact in our community, now is the time. We cannot sit back and say we're holding on resources for a rainy day because the budget looking bad. Today is the rainy day. Our community folks need the support. Mental health is at the top of the priority list. Our people in our communities are dealing with mental health struggles more and more. Look at our young people. They are going through it. All right. Families are going through it. We got to continue to uplift the community. So again, if you are a community organization with resources, please make sure that you get those resources out to the community. Also, there's a lot of major cuts that's happening here in California. When it comes to Medi-Cal, when it comes to food stamps, when it comes to assistance services, a lot of these services are being cut. All right. I was on a call today and it's not looking good, community. So again, our community needs the support. And, we got to continue to do our work. Also, community, this COVID is still passing through our community. I know the government keeps telling us it's over. We could be past the pandemic, but the numbers are still happening out here in the community. So please be safe distance, wear a mask, and just be careful out there, okay? We still have COVID passing throughout our community. So make sure that you are being safe. But with that being said, we're going to bring up our youth intern, our young USF scholar, to welcome her. She's going to be doing our community events tonight, but just wanted to introduce her to the community. Sanai, say hello to the people.
Hi, community.
Our youth team. So with that being said, community, we'll go ahead and jump into today's news, give y'all an update of what's going on. Maybe you've been busy all day. You ain't know what's going on. Some people don't like it, but we'll give you a little bit of what's going on. And then we'll get into our community events and then bring up these phenomenal gems tonight and get into tonight's show. So, Khalees, go ahead and take over and get into our community news.
Absolutely, John. So there was a woman driving the wrong way on the Bay Area bridge with children arrested after CHP chase. So in Oakland, California, a woman who was allegedly driving the wrong way on the Bay Bridge, which is located in San Francisco, with 2 young children was arrested after a pursuit by the CHP, California Highway Patrol. The officers responded to the bridge just before 4 a.m. after a report of a wrong way driver traveling west in the eastbound lanes. A patrol officer tried to get her to stop, and when she didn't, the officer intentionally hit her car, which caused her to spin around. She then went back across the bridge in the correct direction, going about 90 miles per hour per CHP. And then she went southbound on Interstate 880 with the officer still chasing her. So it looks like she took him on one, you all. Police said she drove to her grandmother's home in San Leandro, where there was a brief negotiation. Get this, she had 2 children in the car, ages 6 and 8. The woman was arrested and all children were taken to the hospital for precautionary. It's just awful. It's awful. There's things going crazy all over the world, the community. You have to be on the lookout and make sure you keep your head on the swivel. There was a 3.5 magnitude quake that hit Pacifica. An earthquake with the magnitude of 3.5 struck near Pacifica on Tuesday morning, according to U.S. Geology Survey. The minor quake was reported just after 6 a.m., following by 2 quakes with magnitudes of 2.6, the USGS reported. Others felt the earthquake as far as Hayward, Burlingame, San Bruno, Daly City, San Francisco, and San Jose. So we know when there's one, usually there's another, there's aftershocks, all kinds of stuff. And you know what we went through several years ago. So we just have to watch, pray, and just keep our eyes open. There were 6 dead, including 3 kids in Nashville school shooting. 28-year-old shooter dead. A shooter armed with 2 assault-style rifles and a handgun killed 3 students and 3 staff members at a Christian school in Nashville, Tennessee on Monday morning, authorities said. The suspect, identified by police as Audrey Hale, 28 of Nashville, had a detailed map of Covenant School, a school for students in preschool through 6th grade, and shot through the door to gain entry to the school, police said. I don't know if you all have looked at media, but they showed the video. They showed everything, and it's just horrible just to know that you can't even send your children to school and not pray for them. You have to put prayers over your children and your family in and out that door, because there's just all kind of chaos happening. Police have since released surveillance video from inside the school showing Hale getting in and walking around the school. The children were identified, and also the adults, the slain adults, were also identified, according to police. Triple shooting at Vallejo gas station leaves 2 dead and 1 injured. A shooting at a Vallejo gas station left 2 men dead and a third wounded. It happened at the Royal gas station at Tennessee and Sonoma Boulevard about 10:50 p.m. on Sunday. Officers arrived and found 3 men suffering from gunshot wounds. 1 man died at the scene, a second died at the hospital. The third victim was taken to a hospital. Vallejo police have not determined a motive and are trying to find the gunman. You know, it's just awful. There was surveillance video, but I tell you, neighbors said that this was a long-known trouble spot in that area where the shooting occurred. And you just never know. So keep your head, your eyes open, your head on the swivel. You're going to these gas stations late at night. You got to be more careful of your surroundings. Iconic Pacifica bowling alley, Sea Bowl, closing down after over 6 decades. A bowling alley that served the residents of Pacifica for over 60 years is closing down. The owners of the Sea Bowl Entertainment Center says that they're retiring and will close their family business at the end of May. Sea Bowl is a big place, beautiful place, 32 lanes along with the arcade, billiards, and a restaurant, and it opened back in 1959. You know, John, all of this news is just shootings and you know, our bowling alley, the earthquake. I don't know.
It's terrible. You know, and my community folks been reaching out to me. Sea Bowl is our location. We just had our annual bowling event there. Every year we do our bowling event this year. So we're definitely going to be looking at a new location, and we'll be sending some surveys out to the community to find out some of the other bowling alleys in the community. We will have another bowling event because the community's like, we have to have another one. So our team will be out looking to find a better bowling alley that we could go to, or one that at least is equivalent to Sea Bowl. And I know the bowling alleys are outside of San Francisco that we're going to have to choose. So we're already looking at ways to get community to wherever location we decide to go. We'll try to keep it as close as we can to San Francisco. But we're already looking at maybe getting charter buses and things like that to get people to the event. But community, we will have our 3rd annual bowling event somewhere, a location undetermined. But just, you know, thank you to the Sea Bowl family, to all of the amazing folks over there, Tracy, who just, you know, always showed us love. And when we showed up to do our events, made sure that we had the space and made sure it was set up right. It's definitely difficult and unfortunate thing to have to lose that space, because it's great, and a lot of our venues in the Bay Area are going away. A lot of the developers want to build homes and different things of that nature. So shout out to the amazing folks over at Sea Bowl. It's been a great time. But yes, community, we're going to have to find a new location. That's just how it happens. But I know my people, we're going to show up. We'll do it bigger and better next year, and we'll find another place that we'll call home to host these events. But again, just to hear the tragic news, the amount of shootings, it just goes to show you where the mental health is in our community. Also, the lady who shot the kids in the school was a woman. So it just goes to show you where we're at. You know, the woman driving the wrong way on the Bay Bridge with her kids in the car. Community, we got to deal with our issues. We got to get help and get support. But community, when somebody's crying out, we need all of our community folks to be open and ready to help, to support our folks. Don't just say, hey, whatever, they'll get through it. Sometimes people are dealing with challenges, a lot of challenges and struggles. Community, help out your neighbor, help out your folks, help out your family members. A lot of times there's single families, mothers doing everything. Be that break. Give your cousin, give your auntie, somebody a break. Watch the kids, give them a break, because you never know what point these folk are at in a breaking point. So with that being said, Sanaya, we're going to go ahead and turn over to you so you could go through our community events so we can get tonight's Hidden Gem up.
Okay, so here are the upcoming events. There's the Housing Authority of San Francisco. There's a Housing Opportunity Waitlist Lottery, now open throughout May 29th at 5 p.m. You can apply using the link below. Women Got Game, Women of Color Gaming Summit and Esports Tournament, March 30th and April 15th. You get more information at the website below. Youth Speaks is hosting a writing and performance workshops, and it has a spring series at 265 Chavo Street. There's a Zoom available. It's now throughout May 31st. More information at the link below. Health fair for the unhoused people and others in need of care, medical care and testing, and vaccines. April 4th, 10 a.m. through 1:30 p.m. at the San Francisco Public Library, Larkin and Grove outside the Larkin Street entrance. MOAD members are invited to the Black Venus opening reception, April 4th at 6 p.m. through 7 p.m. at 685 Mission Street at 3rd. You get more information at the link below. SFHRC and Sharp presents Screening of Triggered Life, a Requiem of Healing, April 5th at 5 p.m. at the Woodley Center Atrium Theater, 401 Van Ness Avenue, 4th floor. You can get free tickets at the link below. Economic Rights Division at the SF Human Rights Commission. At the SF Museum of Modern Art, State of Black SF Economic Dignity in Blooms and Bust, April 7th. You can register on Eventbrite. And the Office of Economic and Workforce Development is hosting a second annual Hospitality and Small Business Job Fair. It's at April 12th, 10 a.m. through 1 p.m. at the First Ferry Building, Front Plaza. You can register at the link below. And Enough Plays to End Gun Violence. Call for submissions now throughout April 20th. Calls for teenagers to submit a 10-minute play that confronts the issue of gun violence. You can get more info at the website below. Mackey's Corner presents Suicide Awareness and Prevention, happening June 3rd at Gillen Park in San Francisco. Info on how you can help, you can email the email below or the phone number. Now, on to more ongoing events. The SFHRC regular bi-monthly commission meeting, 2nd and 4th Thursdays at 5 p.m. SF City Hall, room 416. And the Zoom is on this link below and the passcode. The Dreamkeeper Initiative is having a monthly meeting every third Thursday. You can get more information at the website below. And the African American Reparations Advisory Committee, they're having monthly meetings virtually at 5:30 p.m. You can register at the link below. There's also after-school writing workshops at the Youth Speaks office. SF teens receive a $300 stipend. It's Wednesdays at 4:30 p.m. at 265 Shotwell Street, Unit B1. Get more information at the link below. And remove Rev. Amos Browns for the NAACP and Reparations Task Force. Rev. Brown does not represent the change we need. Both sides of the conversation needs your support and signature. You can sign the petition at the link below. And now we have some scholarships and job opportunities for the community. So Opportunities for All, Pathways to Economic Inclusion for Youth. OFA fellow apps are now open. Have fun and get paid. You must be 18 and a high school graduate or GED. Get more information at the link below. Opportunities for All, Pathways to Economic Inclusion for Youth. OFA intern applications are now open. Have fun, get paid. Info at the link below. And Close the Gap Foundation is having a summer fellowship scholarship opportunities. Program is June 4th through September 17th. Application is due March 31st. You can get more information at the link below. The City and County of San Francisco has an upcoming career event. There's a career resource fair on April 15th, 10 a.m. through 2 p.m. at Civic Center Plaza, 355 McAllister Street in San Francisco. You can register at the link below. And finally, join our youth team. SF volunteers are needed. There's a paid stipend. You have to be a high school or college honor roll student. You can join us at the email bound below. We are in search of volunteers. Our work is inspiring and feels good. We make a difference in the community with tangible results to show it. We are a highly driven group with high impact. We get things done the right way. Not only will you contribute to the community, but you'll also learn a lot and gain knowledge in your field of interest within the organization. We value your ideas and input. Sign up to be a volunteer today. You can make a difference. Go to all of our social media sites for more news on how to give back to your community and support both sides of the conversation. Thank you.
Thank you, young lady. Appreciate you being here. Community, always, we have to uplift our youth. They're doing a phenomenal job here. Also, our upcoming shows are live this week. We have our Educational Thursday presentation that's about financial literacy. Please join us this Thursday. Check it out. Again, these are the times we need to really be strategic with our money and planning so that we can build generational wealth for our community. So we have a great presenter who's going to be coming on and talking about planning for a rainy day. I won't be here. The bishop will be out, but Khalees and our youth team, they'll be holding it down, making sure we get through the show. But please tune in and support them. And then this Sunday, we'll have another Sunday conversation at 4 p.m. We're going to be talking about the criminal justice system and how does it impact our community. Again, we got some tremendous folks in the community that's doing work to help change this re-entry process. There's people that's against it, but we got to have a conversation because we know the impact is real when folks are locked up, when folks are going through this transition and trying to come back to community. It can be challenging, and it definitely puts a strain on our community. So with that being said, y'all waited enough of us. We're going to get into our first hidden gem tonight. This brother's all over the place. I see him. Evangelist Robert, brother, welcome to both sides of the conversation, King. And go ahead and talk to the people. Give them a little bit about you, who you are, what you're doing, and community. He coming in on that Eastern time, so we got to get him in and get him out. Don't tell us both sides of the conversation ain't everywhere. We all over the place. What's up, King?
Hey, what's going on, fella? What's going on, people? How's it going?
Man, it's going good, brother. Happy to have you here.
I appreciate the invite, man. So, once again, peace and blessings to everyone. Thank you for inviting me to come on to the segment here. And let me just, allow myself to introduce myself. So, I'm Evangelist Robert Velez Jr. I am a God-fearing, radical Black Puerto Rican man of God from the Bronx, where life started, Curbizon, Bridgeport, CT. The reason why I introduced myself that way, because I never forgot where life started for me as far as the journey coming from Bronx, New York. So that's where it all began for me. So currently what I do is I'm a counselor. So I'm a counselor that's anointed, where the goal is to inspire people by me ministering to them, talking to them, meeting them where they're at, teaching them as far as what they're overcoming. So we're talking about incarceration. We're talking about mental health. We're talking about racial, social injustice, and we're talking about addiction. There has been an uptick as far as suicide going up. There has been an uptick as far as the addiction that's been inclining. We're talking about fentanyl. Now it's being mixed in with what they call xylazine, which is an animal tranquilizer, or they call it tranq. So we're seeing an uptick. We're seeing violence being an uptick, domestic violence, gang violence, gun violence, killings and shootings and so forth. So my goal is to minister the word of God to people who need Jesus, and for them to overcome these different barriers and challenges there. My goal is to love them and to uplift them and to hold them accountable, but at the same time connect them to different resources to let them know that, there is a way out. There is a way to overcome these challenges. There is a way to overcome and withstand these barriers. So this is what I do during the day. And I love what I do because that's not work for me. And it goes to show that when someone loves what they do, it shows. When someone doesn't care, it shows. And people that's on the outside looking in, they're very impressionable and they can see right through you if you're very genuine or not. So I do that during the day. So every day is always an ongoing battle. Every day is always an ongoing challenge. Every day is an ongoing situations that lies ahead, but it's also an opportunity to be a blessing to people. So I truly love what I do, and it shows. So I do that during the day. Now, on the sidelines, I do what's called a YouTube ministry. So on YouTube, it's called MVP, Most Valuable Poet Ministry. And the idea behind this ministry is about being real with the word of God. It's about advancing the gospel. It's about telling God's truth to where people can really know who God is so they can have that connection with them. And I pray that I'm being used by Jesus Christ as a vessel to bring that awareness to the forefront, to bring the truth to the forefront, and to be real in the forefront of what's going on in our world that we live in, that I've always said has been very crooked. And I have to continuously speak the word of God. I understand there's going to be blowbacks. I understand there's going to be backlash, but I'm not one to melt like snow that when time gets tough, I just run. I don't do that. I got to stand for and be a warrior and fight this fight every day. So the ministry is about connecting to the audience of all ages, of all backgrounds. It's about connecting folks in a larger mass to know that I can relate in a lot of ways. It's about being adaptable to what people are dealing with, what they're going through, what the circumstances are, why they feel like they're hopeless. And like I tell people, don't be lovers of darkness, get into the light. Because being in the dark is very horrific when you really think about what it really symbolizes. So when I do this ministry, it's about being ordained by God to lead me to what I need to say during that particular point in time. And I also have a website called powerpoetry.org. The website's called www.powerpoetry.org. And it's just basically you find me as Most Valuable Poet. I have a whole compilation of different poems that I speak about, that I write about, that I perform. And it's about connecting people in different ways. It's about connecting to young people in different facets, in multitudes of ways, to know that being able to have adaptability goes to show how far it can go when you can reach people of different backgrounds and larger masses. So I'm very engaged, not only to my profession, but in my community because of the ongoing wars that we're in. And like it or not, we're in a war and we got to have our weapons. And the main weapon we need to have is the armor of God. So every day I wake up, I thank God. I said, Lord, I know I'm going to war, but I need your weapons to guide me, protect me. As Bible says in Psalm 23:4, though I walk through vast shadow of death, I fear no evil, for you, Lord, with me. It's an everyday reminder of what I'm facing and how do I need to live and how do I need to set by example. So I'm very much in tune and engaged. And the Lord has blessed me to have these opportunities to network with different people, different backgrounds, to connect to folks in different ways that they feel like that there's a sense of hope, that there's a sense of reasons to live on. Because one of the major concerns we have, as I mentioned earlier before, it's been an uptick of mental health disorders, suicide, violence, incarceration is getting younger. I mean, just in New York alone, ages 13, 18, it's like so outrageously blasphemous to see how young it's getting that kids are getting incarcerated. It's just like ridiculous. When you think about the whole school to prison pipeline, this is one of the major issues that we're having. And we have to continuously give them different routes and resources and different outlets for them to be expressively honest about what they're great at, what kind of gifts that they have to offer. So my job is to connect them to God first and foremost, and then connect them to different platforms where they could be an asset and not a liability. So this is something that I do constantly every day. Every day I'm constant. I just shared the sermon on Sunday from the book of Revelation about the end times, because we all live in end times. This is like real in front of your face. And we have to be aware and not disregard it as if it's being dismissive. No, you have to understand that this is reality. This is right in front of our eyes, right in front of our face. So we got to be ready. But at the same time, we have to celebrate life. We got to celebrate the gratitude of life, because a lot of us, we wasn't promised today. There's folks right now that didn't wake up today, but we did. So we got to be very thankful. So this is something that I do every day. So, again, the idea about what I'm doing as far as the YouTube ministry is again, it's called MVP, Most Valuable Poet Ministry. Subscribe, comment, like, and share. It's free. Don't cost you anything. It's all about support. It's all about getting to know people. It's all about connection. So that's what I'm all about. So I wanted to do this before I close this segment out, because I know you guys have some questions and thoughts. I want to share a poem, because I'm also known as Most Valuable Poet. I'm a poet. I'm a spoken word artist. So I wanted to share a poem to really understand a part of me as far as the reality that I lived in. And this poem I did years ago is actually called The Devil's Playground, and it's about the harsh reality of what it was in the Bronx. And the poem goes like this. I was walking to my new job opportunity. That was a blessing from God. I began to notice what difference 5 blocks make. On one end, the beauty of life is embraced through love and prosperity. On the other, life is full of hopeless, broken down dreams, like glass that's shattered, that cracks all over the concrete floor, and then expect a flower to blossom. Don't get it all twisted, because I know where I came from. My past doesn't dictate my future, but my past has transformed me to be the man I am today. I was strolling along 3rd Avenue. All I kept seeing was the motel built by design to invite criminals to use the abhorrence of lowlifes to move only in one direction, whether it was forward, backwards, or sideways. Then right across the street is the hospital. It's sensible to have one there, because doctors lose track of how many victims they need to patch up due to countless shootings over reasons that one scratches their head to say, huh? The sad part is that the hospital is so elongated, it takes up 3 blocks to fill up how many people doctors predict will die in the next 24 hours. As I arrive to the Devil's Playground, I make a left turn and I see desolation of the Walking Dead, where people are taking their own lives slowly and surely. The needle is stuck in between their forearms and veins. People are getting tan in the ghetto, where stagnation is the proclamation that inspires people to remain stuck in the hood forever. Being influenced by souped up idiocy of music in the hip hop industry of this generation that glorifies violence, stirred up by demons who continues to lie on behalf of Satan. Normative behavior consists of 3-year-old kids knowing curse words and don't know their ABCs at 1, 2, 3 by the time they're 5. Being a drunk entices an alcoholic to drink away his pain. Being a drug addict arouses a junkie to sniff of cocaine mixed with baking soda. Girls at the age of 13 want to dress like they're 31. These promiscuous girls flaunt themselves at dudes and using her goods. And when they don't get what they want from guys, they yell out, rape, rape. Hold up. Wait a minute. He never raped her. But society's afraid of a man of color sexuality. So who do you think they'll believe? Gangs recruit more vulnerable, weak souls in 1 hour than the military recruitment in 1 day. An old man that cleans inside the community center is required to wear a helmet when cleaning outside because he gets hit with rocks, small pebbles, as if he was being stoned like Hebrews of ancient time by those who live right upstairs and around the projects like letters in the alphabet. There's a dire need for this community. I know that God has put me here for a reason. I believe in God. God's in control. God believes in me. I believe in myself. He is using me to bring hope to the youth. God stirring me up with the God-given talents and anointing me to inspire that there is more to life than what's in the immediate surroundings. And what's in your immediate circle is not always what it seems to be. Facts. This is why God put me here, to refresh your young minds to new experiences where it doesn't require to shoot someone with either hand. That doesn't take strength. It's about building that brand. That will erupt like volcanic explosion, but not to stifle with violence. Instead, I let the truth come out so that it injects life to lost souls. Any fears I may have, God reminds me to have a sound mind, to infuse power to people in feeling worthy of something amazingly incredible. God put me here for a reason. It's my time to win over souls and make disciples. So if Jesus can hang out with the prostitutes and lowlifes to minister the powerful words of the gospel, so can I. Facts.
Wow, very powerful stuff there, brother. Glad to have you here. You know, we got to have some questions because, you know, we got this both sides of the conversation. We got to have both sides of the conversation. And I like the perspective of you talking about, you know, connecting with the young people. And I have to ask you, because you're in ministry and, you know, there's a disconnect right now in our community with the church and the community. And everybody's not so welcoming to go into the church. You know, the pandemic has opened up different doors and avenues for church. But from your perspective, you know, when you talk about connecting with the community, I always say that here at both sides of the conversation, we have to connect before we correct our youth in the community. Too many times the elders of the community, they just want to tell the young people what to do. They just want to tell them how wrong they are, pull up their pants, do all this stuff, but they're not really coaching them. So for you, how do you connect those folks? And then I know the work you're doing through your YouTube, but how do we get our young people to get back into spirituality? Not just our young people. How do we get community back engaged with all of the turmoil that's taking place with our churches? When we talk about some of the things that negatively impact the word of God, how do we get our people engaged and back into the church, brother?
I think what it is that you have to be yourself. You have to meet them where they're at. I think sometimes you have people that come across very preachy and it sounds very boring, because Jesus Christ ain't boring. I promise you, God ain't boring. It's how it's being facilitated, how it's being projected. And I think a lot of times is that people are so quick to want to correct somebody. So in other words, let's say, for example, you have a kid that's taking a math quiz and hasn't started, you're quick to correct them. It's like, slow down, relax, pump the brakes. Let them figure this out. Let them sort it out so that they can make sense of it. And if they're doing something right, you praise them for what they're doing right. Now, if they're doing something wrong, you show them how to and show them how to do it in ways that they can comprehend it. So the idea about when I preach the word of God is not about trying to come across being a preacher and trying to be a scholar as per se, but it's about meaning where they're at, where I've been, where they've been. And you have to identify and adapt. So if I'm in an environment where there's nothing but Puerto Ricans, that's where I'm going. If I'm surrounded by people that's in an affluent area, I gotta, adapt to that environment. It's not about work. It's about adapting, where you're not changing who you are. You're not being disingenuous, but you're understanding the dynamic of the people that you're around. And one of the most essentials that's so missing right now is love, because it's easy to spew out hate. It's easy to spew out racist rhetoric. It's easy to spew out disgust and not even know who the person is. So for me, it's all about meaning where they're at. I'm 46 years young, and I talk to young people, 14, 15. When I talk about the rap game, they're like, oh, you know about rap? I'm like, yeah, I know about Nas, Big, Pac, I'm from that era. And I talk about, J. Cole, for example. And they're like, oh, for real, that's dope. So it's little things little intangibles like that opens up the platform, the floodgate to engage conversation, because now you get a chance to know where they're coming from, where they're at. Because like I've always said numerous times, no child's ever asked to be born. but they're here for a reason. Sometimes they're just trying to figure out, just like I've been there, where no one didn't teach me about life in that regard. I had to figure out life for myself. So I understand the disconnect in itself. And for me, it's all about relating, being genuine, and being myself. Because to me, when you're trying to be someone that you're not, it's too much work. Be yourself is so easy. So when I preach the word of God, it's about bringing the word of God to where they can understand the language, they can understand the purpose, they can understand how it connects, that what happened back then, thousands of years ago, how it's happening now. And what happened back then, you're seeing it now. So it's all about making that connection by just showing love and being love and just creating different opportunities to meet them where they're at. So for me, I enjoy it because I understand what I'm up against. I understand what I'm dealing with. I understand what the whole dynamic is. And I'm not going to say it's always perfect, because it's not. But you strive for excellence. You strive for that moment to, just to approach a person and just show them kindness. You be amazed how just the act of kindness, just a gesture, just a peace sign, God bless you, good morning, peace and blessings, something. It kind of looks at them like, wow, like they don't look at me as something inferior, or they don't look down upon me as, a knucklehead, as per se, because they see me as a person, not how the world views it as something that you are as far as sin. Because the world judges people by their sin, but God looks at you as a person. So I gotta look at it as somebody like a person, not off what they did. Because we're all sinners at the end of the day.
Man, phenomenal stuff. Shout out to the Bronx, y'all. We got the Bronx in the building.
Yo,
right?
BX, baby. BX all started. Yes.
Please go ahead. I know you got a question.
Yes, Brother Velez. So
yes, ma'am.
It sounds to me that you are attempting to speak life, right, into the broken. That's what you're attempting to do. With all this hatred, envy, malice, destruction, and just ill spirit, ill minds, just evilness, how do you prevent from all of this negativity that we're surrounded by from impacting you as a person, your attitudes, your spirit? How do you prevent that?
By not becoming what I hate. You have to make sure you don't become what you despise. And I remember when Jesus told Peter, what we're going to do, and Jesus said, we're going to change the world. We have to change the world by the love of Christ, by the truth of Christ. And again, it's not force feeding, but it's about bringing awareness. And sometimes you may not be able to change the world, but don't let the world change you. And trust you me, similar to what you guys were talking about out there in Cali, out here in the East Coast, it's bugging out. It's out of control. But we cannot allow that to suffocate us to where we live life in fear. Like I said, Psalm 23:4, it says, though I walk through valley of shadow of death, I fear no evil. So you can't live life in fear. You got to be soldiers and raise up and stand up and keep going. Life presents a lot of opportunities. Life has its ups and downs. Life has its rise and falls. It has its challenges there, but you got to keep going. And as long as you keep fighting, you're not going to give up. I know something better will come out of it, as far as, the merit, the rewards, the blessings. You got to keep fighting and not give up nor give in, because you can't cave in because when everybody else does it, I'm not anybody else. I'm a different animal. So I have to just make sure that for me, just be myself. So, it's easy to get caught up into the ways of the wicked world. Easy. But when you recognize what it is, ask yourself, do I want to be a part of the problem or part of the solution? Me, I'm about part of the solution. And if that means that some folks get turned off, so be it. But I'm not going to sit there and do what everybody else does because what everybody else does it. I don't do that. I'm a different animal. And like I said, being different is more unique than fitting in. I always tell people all the time, life's about standing out. Don't fit in.
Man, very powerful stuff. I respect that, kid, because I stand on my square too. I call out these poverty pimp preachers who stealing and robbing our community, lying to our community, dividing our community.
Sure.
You got to stand on your square, And yes, lastly, what I want to say is, with all the turmoil that's going on, how do we, when we talk about here both sides of the conversation, changing the narrative, how do we empower our community? Because it's so much negativity. It's so many demonized folks in our community that our community is just standing in silence. The adults of the community, the elders of the community are just standing here and allowing this type of things to continue to happen in our community. How do we get the spirit of the people to move, to speak, to uplift their truth. Because right now we got a problem in this country where everybody just want to turn their head down. Nobody want to get involved. Nobody want to challenge. Everybody's just like, oh, they can just keep doing it. Only way we're going to change this in our community. I think there's an opportunity for us to really make ground in our communities. But we got to get our elders to tell the truth. Right. We got to get the adults of the community to stand up for what's right. When do we say enough's enough in our community and say, hey, we're not going to tolerate this anymore? We're not going to just be closing our blind eyes to this. We're not going to shut our mouths to this. When are we as community folks go step up and speak up and say, this is not okay? Because right now in our community, the Black and brown community, we have some things that's going on that are not okay. And we need you, the voice of the people across this country. When are we going to get the strong men and women to stand up and say enough's enough? When are we going to get our elders to say enough's enough? We can't do this business no more.
Yeah, I mean, well, what it comes down to is that you don't wait for a leader. We're all leaders. And we can't wait for someone else to make a move. You got to make a move. And what it comes down to is having selfless mindsets and attitudes where, not one person's better than the other. We're uniquely different. I think that life presents many challenges in different ways, opportunities, because we come from different backgrounds. We grew up in different aspects as far as the encounters we go through. And it's about sharing what we encounter. But, it's about solutions to how we best address that. And we can't be fighting amongst each other talking about, well, your way is better than my way or my way is better than your way. But it's about being like-minded, as the Bible says in Philippians. You have to be like-minded and be one accord. So to be like-minded means that there's a similarity of something, that we have something in common with. So if we talk about police brutality, we have to have some kind of commonality. If we're talking about, racism in itself, there's got to be some commonality there. If we're talking about the corruption in politics, there's got to be some commonality there that we recognize and say, wait a minute, this is off, this is wrong. But we don't have to wait on leaders to say, okay, we're going to wait for this next person. We are all leaders. We're kings and queens. We as people have to say, you know what? We know more than the politicians, because you know what? They're not living that life. We have. We know more. We have much to share. We have more to offer. But if we fight amongst each other, then nothing gets accomplished. But if we have selfless attitudes and say, you know what? Your idea has insight. My idea has insight. Your idea has insight. So you know what? When we come together like Voltron, you have the 5 lines come in one, then you know what? You're going to see how we're going to defend our community against the oppression. So that's how the mindset has to be. If you go around saying, well, we're going to wait for this next president to come around, and we're going to wait for this next pop, you're wasting time on earth. You as a leader, we all have an opportunity to make a difference, whether it's something small or it's something that's more larger, more vigorous, more vigorous in that regard, something more enormous. You have to be in action to where, you know what? You have to continuously make a difference, because one person is not going to make a difference. But if we all come together as one accord and we understand what the bigger picture is, you will see how mountains is going to move.
You talking?
Very powerful stuff, brother. Listen.
Yes, sir.
I love your energy. I told you, I watch you. See, because the bishop, I don't sleep that much. So, I only get 2 hours of sleep. So I know you're on the East Coast, because sometimes it's 3 o'clock in the morning. I see you posting the good words. I'm like, where this brother at? I know you're in New York, man, but it's an honor to have you here. And, just a blessing, man. But before we get out of here tonight, because we got another hidden gem, we got to get up. I want you to give an opportunity to give a shout out to any of your mentors and your folks out there in New York. I know it's late out there, and I want to get you out of here so you can go ahead and rest up, because I know you'll be in the group tomorrow spreading some good words and scriptures for the people.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead and show some love to the people, man. Shout out to your folks. I want nobody to get mad and say, man, you didn't shout me out, man. I was there.
Listen, you know what? I mean, no matter what I say or do, someone's going to get upset, man. And to some people, it's never good enough, but that's, people know who it is. But, first and foremost, I want to give all my honor and glory to Jesus Christ. I couldn't do nothing without him. Nothing. Without him, I have nothing. I am nothing. That's number one. Number two, shout out to my wife, who loves me for who I am, who accepted me for who I am, and knows my fight every day, and just my ride or die. My best friend of 30 years, we've been through it all. That's my inner circle. And as far as, my church family, shout out to Good News Christian Church in the Bronx. Shout out to Bishop James Miller, his wife. I love them dearly, man. They took me in and accepted me and embraced me truthfully and with such sincerity. And to see what I've learned from them as far as, the fundamentals, how to read the word of the Bible, and how to really allow the Lord to speak to you in one fast. He speaks to you multitudes of ways, but I'm saying the foundation was reading the word of God and just really getting to really genuine, real discussions. I give much love and shout out to them. Shout out to Margie Santo from Synergy, because she gave me this platform to, start the Synergy church community service on Sundays and just connecting with other people. So I mean, it's just so much that's happened, and God gives the platform, and God's going to use the right people to give the platform. Shout out to you, John. Shout out to both of y'all. God used y'all to give me a platform to be a powerful voice to address and raise awareness about different topics and issues. So it's all about just listening and just receiving, to say, you know what, we can learn from each other in different ways to help cultivate our maturity, though. So shout out to y'all for just giving me this opportunity to just be a voice. And again, just shout out to people all over the world. Listen, if you go on my YouTube ministry. If you go on YouTube, go on Most Valuable Poet Ministry. Subscribe, comment, like, and share. All you got to hit the hard subscribe button. Boom, that's it. And listen, you be amazed on what God has shown me. You'll be amazed on what the Lord has shown me through good, bad, and different. But it's about connecting. And sometimes, no matter what you say, someone's never going to like it. And I get that. That comes with the territory. But I'm not concerned about who's not going to like it. I'm concerned about those that's willing to listen. So those that are willing to listen, or at least have questions, or have some kind of curiosity, or felt inspired. I know I post something on the private chat to connect as far as how to get in contact with me. Let's make that connection. Let's continue to break bread. Right now, I'm in the process of being in different podcasts coming up in April and in May. I just went to an event last Saturday. It's called COPE, which stands for Caridad Opioids Preventive Epidemic, which means that these were two mothers who are CEOs of that non-for-profit, where they talked about how their loved ones overdose of drugs, mainly fentanyl. So I'm a warrior, and I work in that field. So I have to continuously be that warrior to go out there and fight this war with them, to say you're not alone, because I can identify. I lost a friend of mine who overdosed on fentanyl and heroin. Now you hear about animal tranquilizers. It's just really bugging out. And they want people dead at an alarming rate from not even from the knuckleheads on the corner. I'm talking about from the government. I mean, it's just that real. So, so I'm involved in so many things. So there's things that I'm involved in. I'm going to continue to get involved in. And God has opened up the platform because I'm honoring him as far as him being in the forefront. So, shout out to folks that just gave me this opportunity. And most of all, out of all things, most of all, I give all my honor and glory to Jesus Christ. Couldn't do anything without him.
Man, very powerful stuff. Thank you, community. You heard from the best, Evangelist Robert. Go check him out. He's in our Facebook group, always sharing great message. Listen, community. Did y'all hear he said, listen? God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth. Community, listen. Elders, all my elders out there, listen, elders.
It's funny. It's funny you say that, man, because it's a fun. The Bible says that be swift to listen, slow to speak. Is from that idea. God gave us 2 ears. Listen more than talk less. But what happens is that folks do the opposite. They talk more, thinking they know more, but they don't know more.
Man, I had to give it out to our elders. This is our week of taking it out on our elders. We're going to continue to press our elders of the community. Our elders want respect. The elders want everybody in the community to acknowledge them. Elders, you must listen. 2 ears and 1 mouth. Elders, listen to the young people. Elders, come on, my elders out there. Let's fix our community. It starts with all you, and that's what it's all about. But, brother, thank you for being here. We appreciate you coming on tonight. We'll continue to uplift and support the work you're doing. Shout out to all my folks, all my black and brown people in the NYC, all the barrels in the Bronx. What's up from both sides of the conversation? We love you, New York.
We love you too, Cali. Got shout out for San Francisco, Oakland, Compton, LA, East LA. Love y'all. Sacramento, all them towns. We love y'all, man. Listen, it's all love, man.
Man,
So
definitely.
love.
Thank you, King. And we'll be reaching out and we'll continue to uplift and support you. You are no longer a hidden gym community. Go check out the brother. He's always putting out some great content in our platform as well throughout the internet and on social media. So thank you again, King. We appreciate you. Have a blessed evening.
God bless one. God
I'll
bless
make sure I reach
Thank
out to you
you.
when I get out to New York. When I get
All
out
right,
to New
for
York.
sure. All right, God bless you.
All right,
you.
God bless you, brother. All right, community. There y'all have it. Our first hidden gem. We're going to go ahead and get into our next hidden gem here. This queen is doing some amazing things. She needs some support too, because that's what it's all about, supporting each other. With that being said, Queen Sade, come up here and holler at the people at both sides of the conversation, Queen.
Hey y'all, thanks for having me. I'm so grateful to be here. I didn't realize I was missing this level of community, this level of energy. I'm so ready.
Man, definitely. Well, go ahead, Queen, and go ahead and tell the community, one, who you are, where you at, your business, the things that you're doing to impact community. I got a lot of questions for you, so I want to hear about it. Tell our community what you're doing and how you impact community through your business.
Yeah, I got a lot of answers, hopefully. My name is Sade Adeyemi. I am the founder of The Herbal Alchemist. I'm also an herbalist. I'm a teacher. I am a daughter. My parents are both immigrants from Nigeria and Jamaica, and this company has been such a way of connecting not only with myself, but also with my community. I was able to come out here, so grateful to be out in Oakland in the Bay Area. Just moved out here from Denver about 6 months ago, and I am feeling the presence of so much power, so much awareness, so much community that just I have never experienced anywhere else. I am building more than just a brand. I'm trying to build a community that's helping people to connect with themselves, with their bodies, with just the experience of loving self-care, just taking some time to slow down and indulge in the little parts of life. Skincare seems like such a small facet of our lives, but it really does have a way of affecting every single part of our day, from the way that we carry ourselves, from your self-esteem, from the way that you interact with other people. And I know I'm not the only one who grew up just using lotion every day just so you don't end up ashy, so no one's like making fun of you out on the street. But by doing that, by spending just like little tiny bits of time, tiny bits of energy on myself, I was realizing that I was developing this scarcity mindset, telling myself that I didn't deserve to take time and slow down and breathe and enjoy the experience of really taking care of my body. And the moment I started to to take this little extra bit of effort and create my own products and share that extra bit of love with myself, my confidence has been so drastically improved. I feel so much more connected to my body. I'm able to spend time enjoying what the experience of life, what the experience of being in my body feels like, where I was so disconnected and just speeding through every single day, and it was overwhelming without even noticing it.
I think that's very. I know you get lost of words because it's just like it's a powerful thing, and I'm glad you're here tonight because I need some self-care. I need some great ideas, and I think you might have the answers. But when we talk about this organic herbal work. You know, there's a lot of people doing different things in herbal work, people doing shea butter, people doing cream, people doing the healthy eating, you know, because in our communities, you know, when you look at the Black and brown community in Oakland, San Francisco, around the Bay Area, just beyond this country, there's food deserts, there's lack of resources. So I always look at the folks who doing that herbal work that kind of bring us some kind of natural, you know, what we need. This is us. This is our people. You know, how do we get this information and how do we get these resources in the community? I think that's why it's so powerful that you hear, because I think these products, these things that are in our stores, in our Safeways, in our Walgreens, in these top of the line stores, all these products are stuff that just really deteriorates our body, you know, affects us in so many different ways, mentally, emotionally, because of all the chemicals that are in these byproducts. But when we come to the herbalist, when we come to you, you know, what do we get out of these products that's organic, and how do they affect? And like you said, you started tapping into yourself and grabbing it. But for somebody out there who really may not be into the herbal market, maybe not really understand it, can you just give us a little bit of like, what does that look like, and what does that feel when you get organic, you know, oils and fruit and different things like that, and some of the product that you have? How does that help you as a being in our community?
Absolutely. Having products that are organic, that are plant-based, that are natural, you're able to connect with the earth. You're able to connect with yourself so much more without being afraid of all of the chemicals, the parabens, the toxicity that we're constantly putting into our bodies. Like, our skin is our largest organ. Every single thing that we come in contact with, it has an impact on your body, your well-being. And so having products that are clean, you are able to not only heal, but also nourish, bring life to yourself with plants that are, you know, they are no longer alive, but they still have so much life, so much power in them.
I think that's very dope. Someone's out there asking the question, where do we start? When we want to get more herbal based? You know, I think now's the time. I mean, more than ever, Black folks, we just got to really connect to our roots. You know, when we look at the sun, we look at the weather, we look at global warming, you know, these healthy products, the foods, the things that we put in our body is really going to determine where we're going as community. You know, the work that you're doing, you know, how do we globalize, you know, what you're doing? You know, I know it starts in our community to build that ecosystem, but how do we get your products, you know, in these Walmarts and different places so that our folks have access, right? Because sometimes when you do have the type of business you have, the access is not so great. So how do we empower you to get your products out there more so it's easy accessible for our community to have access? I know sometimes we get in certain parts of California, it's not a lot of Black folk. People like, man, where are my people? I need products. I need this support. So this is why it's important for you to be here so folks can get your website, your social media handles. Maybe somebody's in the area and they like, hey, I need to reach out and get some products shipped to me. What does that look like to you, and how can we help you get some of these products and things inside our community? Because we know our community dealing with a lot of health disparities, and some of these products and things that you offer could be the cure to some of these problems that we have in our community.
Yeah, I am so grateful for the platform to be able to share, to express, to you know, get the word out there. And it starts so small. It can start with as much as just taking a moment, spend some time. I make natural skincare products, and it is even just spending 5 minutes, say, yes, I deserve to take this time for myself. I deserve to slow down and feel my body as I'm using this body butter. I deserve to experience my senses as I'm using this oil. Right now, I am so grateful to be a part of the Sanctuary Micro Markets program. So if you are in Oakland, in the Bay Area, you're able to come out Wednesday through Saturday from 11 to 7. And I have a micro storefront out there. There are several other incredible Black-owned businesses that are sharing the same space. We're making the downtown Old Oakland the first story of these buildings that are empty now. A lot of them accessible for small business owners to be able to grow and to get connected with the community. If you're not in the Bay Area, I also ship all across the country. I'm at every single event that I can get out to. Before I moved out here, I was a teacher out in Denver. So you say there's a lot of places in California where there aren't really any Black folks. I was living in Denver, Colorado. I would go into a room sometimes and I would be the only person with any sort of melanin. And so I get it. I really do. It's been incredible to be able to share space and to grow and like share ideas and hear from other people who not only look like me, but have an understanding of me and where I'm coming from and the experience of having to be Black in America, not having to, getting to be Black in America.
So I have a question for you, Sade. What type of products, we have a question, what type of products do you offer? And if they're edible, topical, what type of specific products do you offer?
All of my products are topical, and I have an entire product line. I have body butters, which are so fluffy and light, they melt into your skin. All of my ingredients are as organic as I'm able to get them. I use essential oils as the fragrance, so you know that everything that's going into your body is from the earth and going back to it. I have salves, which I saw someone else also asked about products for eczema. Like I said, I was living in Denver. Denver is so dry. I had such terrible eczema, like patches on my face, like on my elbows. I was so embarrassed constantly, and it just my moisturizing salve helped me to overcome that so quickly and so naturally. It's infused with lavender, calendula, lemon balm, thyme. It's really powerful for anything from like sunburns to bug bites, eczema, inflammation. It's a product that I believe in so deeply, and I would love to get into the community, not just in terms of sales. I have such a huge vision for how I can, bring these luxurious experiences to folks who can't necessarily afford it. Natural skincare can get so pricey that, it's hard for a lot of people to justify, like, hey, I want to try this, but maybe this is meant for someone else, or this seems like it's more of a luxury product. I'm just going to go for my like $3 Suave lotion that I've been sticking with my whole life, and I want to be able to create pathways to access these experiences that we all deserve.
Thank you for that. So it looks like, go ahead.
We got a couple of questions up here. People are asking, can they get assessment to find product specific concerns like for anxiety and menstrual health? Is that something that you provide services as well?
It is not, but I do have a plug for another incredible Black-owned business. It's called October Lotus, based out of Chicago, and she is the proprietor. Her name is Asha. She is a powerful, another herbal worker. She specializes in reproductive menstrual health with herbs as well. So I am still a little baby herbalist. I'm learning as much as I can every single day, but I do have plugs for other people for every other thing.
Well, I have one question. How was it growing up in a Nigerian Jamaican family? I think that's a dynamic.
Oh my goodness. It was always interesting. I definitely had a crisis of identity growing up that I'm still working through. Yeah, I'm really grateful for my parents for the culture, but I came because they immigrated in their 20s. They wanted to raise a family that would be able to assimilate into the US, into like upper middle class white. I grew up in South Florida, and so I was not around people that looked like me. I was called an Oreo because I speak like a white person, but I'm Black on the outside, that kind of deal. And so now as I'm older, I'm like finding community, finding connections. I'm able to, really appreciate my roots a lot more.
So, this Bay Area, this culture here in the Bay Area is different. I see you embracing the Bay. It's a moving. The energy is real happening out here. But I'm glad you connected. And I just wanted to make sure that you said that you're setting up is that the farmers market that they do over in West Oakland? Is that where are you talking about the main one at downtown that they do during the week?
So this is a micro market, and it is a program as part of Sanctuary, a nonprofit. You can find us on 10th and Broadway on the corner. The address is 977 Broadway in Old Oakland. It used to be a Safeway, I believe, something like that. But it is a really incredible program. They are, creating space for small minority business owners to get their products out into the community without having to pay the ridiculous rent on some of these storefronts. Like, it's crazy, y'all. This is, oh my God, I could buy a car with that. Come on.
Welcome to the Bay.
This is wild, y'all. I knew California was expensive, but I was not prepared for all of this. So you got to make do. I'll figure it out.
You'll blend in. As they say, the Bay Area is home for the hustlers. You're going to be hustling. But, definitely that's why it's great that you come here. Community, get out there, 10th and Broadway. You said it's Wednesday through Saturday. Go support the sister. Go check out some of the other Black vendors. Again, we keep promoting here at both sides of the conversation. We want to make Black Friday every Friday. Get out there. All our allies watching, all the folks who want to align with Black folks, want to help support Black businesses. This is a great way to do it. Make Friday this weekend opportunity to go out and support some Black businesses. That's what we're promoting. Every day we try to spend our dollars with our Black and brown community. But just because you're here tonight, because that's all we do here is bless the people, uplift the people, both sides of the conversation. We're going to go ahead and make a purchase, and we're going to pick up some of your products, and we'll give it out to our team and some of the folks in the community because that's what we do. All of our hidden gems, we want to make sure that they support it. We don't just lead by telling people to do stuff. We actually lead by example and make sure we support the very businesses that come on our platform to uplift them. You made the effort to come here. We'll make the effort to support your business, and then we'll get some other folks in the community to support you as well. So thank you for being here. But colleagues, if you have anything that you want to add before we give this young lady her time back, because it's precious time in Oakland.
Oh yeah, this will be quick. Sade, I have a burning question. Do you have anything, because I know you specialize in topical, do you have anything to bring back scarce edges? A lot of us women have some scarce edges. They missing in action, and we trying to bring them back. Do you have anything to help us?
You are right ahead of me. I'm working on it right now. I am working on this hair oil. I'm testing it out, seeing how it works on my edges. But I love to test my products for a good bit so I can prove that they're going to be as efficient as you all deserve before putting anything out. So keep an eye out for my website, theherbalalchemist.co. I am all over Instagram, The Herbal Alchemist Co. And any events that I'm able to get out to, any ways that I'm able to integrate into this incredible community, I truly, truly, truly would love to connect. If you know of any ways that I'm able to contribute to this community as well, to build, to connect, I'm open. I'm all ears.
Well, definitely connect with us. Go on our social media handles, check our newsletters, letters, and you can get connected with some of the folks in the community across San Francisco, Oakland. And you could pop up and be vendors at some of these events. We'll get you all connected in there. But I'm glad Khalees said it. Khalees, I'm glad you just talked about the ladies' edges. I don't want them throwing rocks at my car. About the bishop. He's out there talking about women again. See, y'all gonna get me in trouble. See, but that was Khalees. It wasn't the bishop. Okay, ladies. I don't mind your edges. Okay, I wasn't talking about your edges. Khalees, don't have nobody throwing no rocks at my car. Okay, girl, they be throwing rocks at my car when I drive by. But thank you for being here. Your website information is up. We're going to go ahead and share that out to our community of folks, and definitely we would love to connect with you and try to get you connected with some of the events that's coming up. We're getting close to Juneteenth, so there's going to be a lot of culturally things happening. A lot of folks bringing out their products to uplift Juneteenth. Our Mother's Day is coming up, and a number of things in community. So we'll get you connected with the community. Some phenomenal folks in Oakland that are doing some amazing work as well. And we'll get you all connected and make sure folks are supporting you. With that being said, before we let you go, is there any shout outs you want to give your mom, your dad, any folks in the community that helped you? I don't want them coming on here and say, how you gonna come on that show? You didn't even give me no props. You better go ahead and give your shout outs and share some love to the folks who's been supporting you and rocking with you from day one before we get you out here today, Queen.
Absolutely. First, I want to give the biggest shout out to Correcting in Color. It's an incredible organization out in Denver helping Black folks to, not just Black folks, like people of color to get into climbing. And that's honestly what helped me to build my business to the point where I was able to make it out here and keep building and have this be my full-time job at this point. I'm so grateful for Manisha, Shara, all y'all. Optima Entrepreneur Academy has been such an incredible resource, just helping me to just really narrow down, focus on being a business owner instead of just a creator. I'm thankful for Sanctuary, for Sustainable Artistry, for giving me space, for the mentorship that Miles has provided, for my family, Dad, Jade Jr. They've had some to deal with some real anxiety for me, just trying to figure it all out, So grateful for just all of my customers, for the feedback, for the community, for the encouragement, the kind words, just helping me to grow as a human, as a business owner, for, helping me to believe in myself to the point of making such a huge leap and making this all happen. And of course, thank you all for having me. This has been so dope. I'm grateful. That's all I can say.
Yeah. Well, thank you for being here, community. Let's show this queen some love. Welcome to the Bay Area. All my Bay Area folks, get out there to 10th and Broadway through the weekend. Go buy some shea butter. Go get some herbal products. Get some of that. Go get some bath bombs. I don't know. Go support the queen. Get out there and support some of the Black businesses. Just get out there and show Sade some love, and then our team will be reaching out to you. We'll definitely pick up some products to support you. Thank you for being here, and we want to just continue to uplift you. Anything that we could do to help support you, if it's a flyer, event that you're going to be at and you want us to know, we'll help get it out to the community as well. But Bay Area, let's show the queen some love. On both sides of the conversation, folks. Let's go out there and spend some dollars, uplift our Black businesses. That's what it's all about. We're building this ecosystem, and we got to make sure our Black dollars circulate with our people in the community. All my brown brothers and sisters, we love you. We spend our money Black and brown around here. Let's hold it down, and let's uplift this queen and make sure that other businesses in our community are impacted by our dollars. Every Friday, community, let's make it Black Friday and spend our money with our small Black businesses. With that being said, thank you for being here tonight. We're going to let you go ahead and get out of here. And it was a pleasure of having you here tonight.
The pleasure is all mine. I hope to see y'all soon.
All right.
Thank you.
Well, community, there you have it. We've had our hidden gems. Y'all didn't have to deal with the bishop too much tonight, okay? I won't be here for the rest of this week, so y'all might as well get one last benediction before it's over. But before the benediction, Khalees, you want to give some friendly words to the community before we exit out of here today?
Oh, yes. Earlier, you heard Brother Robert, be part of the solution and not the problem, to listen. It was very powerful. I enjoyed that hidden gem, as well as Sade, Queen Sade. Learn to love your skin and community. Guess what? Edges are on the way. I'm telling you, I was about to start a campaign about these edges, but Sade gave me some faith, some hope tonight. So, I won't have to be wearing beanies and covering up my perimeter of my head. So I'm grateful. It's been truly a hidden gem night. And thank you for tuning in with us. If you've not subscribed, liked, and gone and went ahead and subscribed to our YouTube, ring that bell, subscribe to our newsletter, come out, volunteer, give back to the community, because it is exciting to be with both sides of the conversation. Have a good evening.
It wasn't me, community. We're giving away edges and wedges around here at both sides of the conversation. I don't know. Khalees started this. Y'all don't be mad at me. Khalees brought this to the forefront, okay? We're giving away edges and wedges at both sides of the conversation, okay? If you want your edges back, just reach out to us. We can get you hooked up, all right? But with that being said, see, somebody gonna throw a rock at my car because of you, Khalees. If I get hit by a rock, okay, I'm making sure you pay my claim, okay? I didn't start this tonight. Khalees started this tonight. She started talking about edges. Girls, stop braiding your hairs, okay? Your edges is falling out. I don't know if the oil's gonna help you, okay? Let me stop now. The bishop is over. Let me stop. We have to have some humility. We have to have some fun here at both sides of the conversation because I know it's serious times out there. Things are happening. Mental health is at the highest rate right now. And sometimes a good laugh is just all we need. And you know, the bishop, I should have been a jokester. Maybe I'm in the wrong profession, Khalees. Maybe I should have been a comedian because I'm always cracking jokes. I'm always making the people laugh. But you know, we have to uplift the people because even through these hard times, a nice smile goes a long way. So I'll give y'all the smile. We'll give y'all the fun and all the love. But with that being said, because I know everybody's like, get out of here, Bishop. We had enough of you. I'm going to save some edges tonight, okay? We're going to save some edges tonight. But with that being said, okay, I'm going to go ahead and give the benediction to the people tonight because every great bishop has to give a party word to the people before they leave. So with that being said, tonight, community, you've heard from the people. Yeah, the people, the real people that are involved. You heard from Brother Robert, evangelist, speaking the word of the higher spirit, talking about standing where we need to stand, believing what we believe in. That's what it's really all about. He called on both sides of the conversation tonight, all the way from New York City, the big Bronx, for all y'all folks talking about who know about both sides of the conversation. We in the Bronx, you guys. They all over the place watching both sides because they know we don't mess around about our people. And again, that is a brother who is out there doing the work, spreading the love, the word of the gospel, involved in the community. Man, where are you at? I keep calling the brothers in my community. I don't know. Where's my brothers at? Tonight, we had a phenomenal man here talking about the things that he is doing to impact the youth, connecting before correcting the youth. That's what we need, more men to connect before they connect or correct in our community with the youth. He's doing the work. We're talking about the substance abuse, the things that are taking place. We are in spiritual warfare. I've been telling y'all for days, the volcano is about to erupt. I didn't know today was going to be the day we were going to have an earthquake, but I guess things are starting to erupt. Community, we got to do our part. There's spiritual warfare. You have to find your higher spirit. You have to find your spirituality, whatever it is, whatever God you choose to praise, whatever you need. These are the times we're going to need something greater than us because what's going on in our community is not okay. You heard the news today. We have some problems. We have some things that we need to address. And if it's Jesus Christ, if it's Allah, whatever your belief system is, we need it now more than ever because our communities is going through it. The volcano is starting to erupt. You see the news. You see what's going on. People are at a high time rage. People, be patient out there. You never know who's about to explode. Be careful. We got to do more. We got to work with each other. We got to continue to upbuild and do the things that we need in our community so that we can uplift each other. Lastly, we had a phenomenal sister who just left, a business owner, entrepreneur, a Nigerian, a Jamaican. I don't know, but what it is an opportunity. It's great to see the business owners come here on this platform on Tuesday to uplift their business community. It is your job to help uplift and support the kings and queens of our community when they come on here to give out the information about their business. Let's uplift each other. Let's not tear each other down. The Black ecosystem starts with us spending our dollars with each other. You want to talk about unity. Unity starts with spending, breaking bread, trusting, empowering each other. Your dollars can empower the next generation of entrepreneurs, the next generation of leaders. That's what we need tonight. We had our youth team here. Uplift them. All of this start by watching other people in the community do the things that they do. Make sure when you go support that Black business, you're not asking for a discount, community. When you have that Black business that you're trying to help, go in there and support them. Give them the tips. Give them the opportunity so that they can build the equity for our community, the opportunities, so that they can hire the very people that look like us, so that they can give an opportunity to someone in our community. When we talk about Black enterprises, it starts with us. Tonight, we had a phenomenal gym here. Go get the things you need. Maybe your skin is dry. Maybe you haven't tapped into your spirituality. Maybe you haven't been taking care of yourself. Go talk to the queen. Maybe you could get something to help you. Maybe your skin is oily. Maybe you haven't been sleeping right. Maybe it's the products that you're using that you're so convinced to buy at these stores and at these Macs and all these other places. Go get some real products that come from the people, come from the very nature, the organic places, the herbal life that we have right here. She is enriching our community in Oakland. Go support the queen. Community in San Francisco. Go support the queen. Put some money out there. Let's make Black Friday every Friday. Community, find a way to keep our dollars in our community. With that being said, enough of me. The bishop is out of here. We will have our next live segment this Thursday. Y'all won't see the bishop because I won't be here. The team will be here. Our youth will be here. They will continue to keep the platform moving. I don't know. Maybe when I'm not here, some more edges might come off. I don't know. I'll be watching from afar. All right. But I'll make sure I bring back some edges for the ones who fall off. But again, we will be here. This Thursday, Educational Thursday, is so important to our community. We have a great presenter to come on and really teach our community how to save for a rainy day. I keep telling community the interest rates is hard. The discretionary funds are becoming tight. The job market is changing. Community, we have to be intentional and make sure that we are doing the things that we need to do financially to build wealth and to give that wealth to our young people. Sometimes we have to say enough's enough. We've been doing it our way. We haven't been saving. We're in the same financial pit stop. Okay, this Thursday, come listen in. Take some of the tools, take some of the gems, and build your financial future so that you can pass down generational wealth to your family and it can continue to pass down the lineage of your family. That's what we're going to do here at both sides of the conversation. When we say we're changing the narrative, when we say we're educating our community, when we say we're having a difficult conversations, that's what we do here. We want to make sure that we engage our community, give them the tools, the resources, and everything that they need. You got it tonight. I don't know if it's Robert. I don't know if it's Sade. Whatever you need tonight, take it. But together, let's walk in solidarity and continue to uplift our community. Community, pray for your loved ones. Everybody's going through it. Pray for me, the bishop. I need it. Okay? I need prayer. Pray for me. Uplift your leaders in the community. Pray for the families. Y'all see what's going on. We have mothers losing their mind, children losing their mind. People have the highest anxiety, depression. There's so much bipolar and mental health in our community. So much fentanyl. There's so many things going on. Sometimes our community just need a prayer. Pray for the people tonight, community. Pray for the bishop. Because I'm going to talk about some edges tonight. I don't know. They just started me with edges. I'm going to talk about the edges tonight. With that being said, thank you all for tuning in tonight. We'll see y'all for our next live show this Thursday night, as we'll be bringing on a phenomenal panelist to talk about saving and planning for a rainy day. We thank y'all for tuning in. This Hidden Gem segment has been powerful. Make sure you tune in every Tuesday at 7 p.m. so you can see the Black business owners. You can see the community leaders and the folks in our community that's doing some positive things. Tonight, we was blessed by the presence of New York. Okay, y'all talk about where both sides of the conversation go. New York, we love y'all. Good night now.
Good night.